All right, here we are. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hitting the Wall. This is Season 2, Episode 2. Thank you all very much for joining me. What is today? It's Tuesday, January 14th. If you can believe that, 2020. First thing I want to do is apologize for last week. It was our first show back for Season 2. It'd been our first show in about 3 weeks, and I was all excited to show off the new set and to really dive into a good subject. I was so excited, in fact, that I blew through everything I had prepared in like 15 minutes. I talked super fast last week, so I'm sorry about that. My sincerest apologies. Next, the most important thing going on right now in the world that I live in, which is the world of Kansas City, is our Chiefs. The Chiefs, if you did not see on Sunday, had themselves a wonderful 3/4 of a game. And it was super great. The town is really excited. And, of course, I love that kind of energy. I remember that energy back when the Kansas City Royals were in the World Series back in 2014 and then winning it in 2015. And this whole town really just came alive. And it's kind of the same feel right now. Granted, the Chiefs still have a little farther to go. But I think if we can pull off a win on Sunday, then this place is just going to be electric. It's going to be super awesome. So that's the big news coming out of Kansas City right now, is that our Chiefs are doing great after a rather stunning and record-setting win that they pulled off over the Houston Texans on, on Sunday. So I know I don't normally come on here and talk about sports, even though I would love to. I could talk about sports every episode, but I don't normally do that. But I just had to mention that because, again, it gets the whole town excited. Next thing that we're going to talk about, if you saw the show last week and heard my awesome story about my super great coworker that came into the office sick as a dog and ended up expelling everything into the kitchen. Of course, because that happened, now I'm sick. So this is my annual do an episode while under the weather, so I sound like Kermit the Frog, or at least in my head. I know I don't sound right. So yeah, tis the season, I suppose. So I got knocked down with a wicked cold. Been fighting that off since last week, and I think I'm getting better. But of course, you still have the cough, and you still have the weird voice, and I'm already sick of it. I'm over all of the illness that this season has brought to us. So let's go ahead and dive into today. What I thought might be an interesting talk, since we are now officially 2 weeks into 2020. I want to see how you guys are doing in 2020 on your resolutions. Did you make any New Year's resolutions? Did you have anything? Hey, Kelly's on. Hi, Kelly. Did you make any resolutions, any promises to yourself, any big, great lifestyle changes that you were going to do? Anything along those lines? If so, we're 2 weeks in. So how are you doing on these things? So I'm going to wrap myself out first, okay? I'm not going to pick on you guys right off the bat because that would just not be very nice of me. But I am going to totally out myself right now. So back in the fall, late September, early October, I told you guys that I got a little medical news. I had to make a few changes in my life. Needed to get in better shape, training for a new marathon coming up in the spring. And I had all these things that I was working towards. And, man, I got into it. Like, I got into it big time, man. I was hitting the gym, and I was running, and I was doing my walks, and I was doing my training. I was eating well. I cut tons of stuff out of my diet, dropped a whole bunch of weight, and it was super cool. And then the holidays came. As soon as Thanksgiving got here, all of that, let's see, what do I want to call it? I don't know, all of that self-control, all of that discipline that I had built up for about a month and a half to 2 months, all of it right out the window because, oh, look, turkey and pumpkin pie. And not just one meal of it, but all the meals of it. And then, oh, what is this? We are done with Thanksgiving. What is coming towards me? Candy canes, more junk food, candy. And so, yeah, I all of that went away. That was, we'll call it my resolution. That I started before the new year, but all that eating healthy and exercising right and dropping weight, that all went away quickly, rapidly, and is gone. I think the only thing saving me right now on this screen is I'm wearing a cool shirt and you're distracted by the big red. I mean, I look like Andy Reid with this thing on, big red, but yeah, I was the first one to fall by the wayside with all of my really grand plans for resolutions and losing weight and being healthy and blah 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 blah. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I want to know how you guys are doing, and yeah, I see Kelly's watching live. Yes, you've not watched live in a long time. Welcome. But I thought it would be fun to talk about some of the reasons why our resolutions fail, some of the reasons why we quit this stuff. And I found a kind of an interesting article that really spells a lot of it out. Now, in this article that we're going to kind of use tonight, they are primarily talking about like weight loss and, you know, that New Year's resolution we all had to lose weight. But the reason I like this, a lot of the tips can be taken to other aspects of life. It can be taken to other avenues. It's not just the weight loss, even though that's what this article is geared towards. But the reason it spoke to me and I wanted to share it tonight with you is because it really can pertain to a lot of different things. It can pertain to all the stuff that we quit. Now, some things we quit for good, like in some things we quit because we really need to. Smoking is one of them. You know, if you're a person if you are quitting smoking, if you have quit smoking, or if you're currently in the process of trying to, first off, I commend you because I know how difficult that could be. My father quit smoking for most of his life, and I remember that it never worked out well. He always quit the quitting and went back to it, and I've known people in the same boat. So there's a lot of things we try and quit, and it doesn't work out well for us because we do it wrong, and that's kind of what we're going to go over tonight. So 10 reasons why this says New Year's resolutions fail. I'm going to extend that. These are the reasons why anytime we try and make big life change, ultimately it fails. And there are a few exceptions, but let's talk about this here because it's got a stat right here. So let me see here. A new year beautifully symbolizes a new chapter opening in the book that is your life. But while so many people like you aspire to achieve ambitious goals, here we go. Are you ready? Only 12% will experience the taste of victory. Okay, so 156 million, and this is the population, you know, based on the population of the US, 156 million people will give up on their New Year's resolution. They will never make it to the finish line. And again, if we're talking weight loss, you start at X weight and you want to get to Y weight, you know, or A weight, get to B weight, whatever, assign a letter, I don't care. So only 12% will go from that starting weight to that ultimate goal weight without quitting. And that's kind of that was eye-opening to me anyway. Oh wow, there's a big Patrick Mahomes that just lit up my screen. There we go. Very, very nicely done. The chat room for the podcast is still talking huge football. I love it. So yeah, so why are these things happening? Why are we quitting again on the exercise, or we stop smoking, or we're quitting on whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish and we just walking away from it? So the first one, you're treating a marathon like a sprint. And so for all my running peeps, this should speak to you already. Slow and steady habit change might not be sexy, and it's not, because we want that instant gratification. We want to instantly look better. We want to instantly be smoke-free. If giving up alcohol is your thing, you want to be instantly dried out. That stuff doesn't happen. Okay, so it may not be sexy, but it's a lot more effective than I want it all and I want it now. That mentality, bad. Small change, says small change, sticks better because they aren't intimidating. And if you do it right, if you make a small change gradually, you won't even notice that you're doing it. So if you have a lot of bad habits today, the last thing you need to do is remodel your entire life overnight. Okay, if you want to lose weight, again, because that's what this talks about, stop it with the crash diets or the excessive exercise plans. Instead of following a super restrictive plan that bans anything fun, add one positive habit per week. And I like that idea, one positive habit per week. So let's say your first week, get into it, maybe all you do is increase the amount of water that you drink. Super healthy for you. Sounds super easy. Maybe take away one soda, add one thing of water, and already you're making a positive change. And trust me, I am not looking down my nose on anyone because I've ripped through my latest case of soda because for me, that's my number one vice. I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't do any of that nonsense. It's soda right here. It has helped make me the man I am today. Maybe and that's definitely not a good thing at times. So make one positive habit change per week. So you add the water the first week, and then maybe the second week you make sure that you get 3 fruits per day. Okay, so now you're drinking water and you have 3 fruits per day, and then maybe the next week you aim for more protein. However you want to do it. But there are ways that we can do this by making the gradual change instead of, okay, and stop me if you've done this before, because I do this all the time. So I'm going to eat super bad today. I'm going to go ahead and drink the 5 sodas left in my fridge and order the extra large pizza. And that's just to get it all out of here today. And then tomorrow I'm going 100% positive, eating habits and exercising, and I'll never look at a pizza the same way again. We do that to ourselves all the time, don't we? And it never works out well for any of us. Certainly not this guy. So let's see. Number 2 that it puts in here, you put the cart before the horse. It says supplementing. And so this, again, talking about your dieting, supplementing a crappy diet is stupid. So don't even think about it. Focus on the actions that produce overwhelming amount of results. If it's not important, don't worry about it. Now, this one really only kind of pertains to dieting, but for some people, that was their resolution. That's the thing that they have erstwhile quit in the first 14 days of the year. Number 3, big one, and it's a big one for weight loss and pretty much everything we do in our lives. You don't believe in yourself. And if we're going to point to one of these that really speaks to me, bing, right here. A failure to act can cripple you before you leave the starting line. If you've tried and failed to set a New Year's resolution, or several, in the past, I know it might be hard to believe in yourself, okay? And who hasn't? Who hasn't started a resolution in 2019 and 2018 and 2017? And again, if it fizzled out in the first 2 weeks, you roll around to the next new year and you're like, well, it's probably going to be as successful as it was last time. And already you've got the self-doubt. You don't believe that you're going to succeed. You're really only doing it because, well, it's a new year. I might as well throw something into the universe that I'm just going to crap on in 2 weeks anyway. So, doubt is a nagging voice in your head that will resist personal growth with every ounce of its being. Okay? Let me read that again. Doubt is a nagging voice in your head that will resist personal growth with every ounce of its being. True? True. The only way to defeat doubt is to believe in yourself. And who cares if you failed a time or two before? This year, you can try again, but be better this time. Maybe some of the stuff that we're talking about tonight will help. Number 4, too much thinking, not enough doing. Sound familiar? I believe it does. So the best self-help book in the world can't save you if you fail to take action. Okay, yes, seek inspiration, like watching this show, right? Seek inspiration and knowledge, but only as much as you can realistically apply it to your life. Like for the dieting world, okay, I know that I have actively seen people who took the keto diet to heart, and man, they nailed it, and they dropped a ton of weight, and they got their bodies into ketosis, and for them, it worked. I am full on realistic that I am not going to be able to do that. You can say I don't have the discipline for it, and you'd be right. I feel like it takes a time commitment that I don't have, and it takes a very specialized brand of buying food and things like that. Okay, well, when I have my kids, I'm not going to force them to eat the same stuff that I would be eating to keep my body in ketosis, because a soon-to-be 40-year-old fat guy trying to lose weight does not eat the same as a 13 and 10-year-old girl who are both below average on body size. They're both too short and they're both too skinny. So if I try and give them the same meals, and you could make 2 meals, sure, because we all have time to cook separate meals for ourselves and our kids. Look, it takes a special person to do that. I am not that special person. So I know this about myself. I don't have to sit down and think about it and try and really get a game plan going on how I'm going to follow the keto diet, because I'm not going to do it. I'd be setting myself up for failure. So, hey, knowledge. So if you can put just one thing you learn from every book or article you read into practice, you'll be on the fast track to success. So again, don't take the whole book and say, I must follow every step. Find the one step in the big book that you can follow. Number 5, you're in too much of a hurry. That's another one that has my name written all over it. If it was quick and easy, everyone would do it. And it's in your, so it's in your best interest to exercise your patience muscle. I wish I could take credit for that quote. I cannot. I read it off this life hack article that we're using tonight, but I like that. It's in your best interest to exercise your patience muscle. Some of us have stronger patience muscles than others. Let's see, number 6. This is a long one, so bear with me. You don't enjoy the process. Okay, is it any wonder people struggle with their weight when they see eating as a chore and exercise as a dreadful bore? The best fitness plan is one that causes the least interruption to your daily life. The goal isn't to add stress to your life, but rather to remove it. Again, that's a big one, and that's one that I've been fighting with so much lately. It's like, okay, I know I need to find time for all these training walks that I'm doing for the marathon that's coming up in March, but I don't have the time. And then I miss one, and then I'm super stressed out about it. And then Sunday, we're supposed to have a long walk. Okay, Sundays are long walk days. I was sick. I had my kids, and the Chiefs had a playoff game. 3 reasons, 2 of them legit, 1 not. I could have missed a football game, but I didn't want to. All of those are reasons that I couldn't go out on Sunday and get my 12 miles in, which is what I was supposed to do. Couldn't do it when I was sick. And again, that adds stress to my life because now it's like, oh my gosh, I'm behind. So after the show tonight, I need to lace up my shoes and I need to go do 4 miles. You can hear my voice. I am not back to 100% yet, but I'm stressing myself out by not doing these walks. Okay, so the best of us couldn't bring ourselves to do something we hate consistently. So make getting in shape fun. However, you've got to do it. That could be participating in a sport you love, and I'm big on team sports. I am so big on team sports. If I could find a soccer league, and I'm not a big soccer fan, but it's great exercise. If I could find a soccer league that needed a almost 40-year-old who hasn't played since he was in 5th grade, sign me up because I would just like to come get the exercise. But find a sport you love. Oh, I knew this was going to happen. Hold on. Excuse me. I don't have a cough button. Find a sport you love. Find exercising with a good friend or 2. Joining a group exercise class so that you meet new people, or giving yourself 1 free day per week where you forget about your training plan and exercise it any way you want. I think that's a good idea. I kind of like the idea of kind of this free day, a free play, if you will. So number 7, you're trying too hard. And I bet this pertains to everybody. Unless you want to experience some nasty cravings, don't deprive your body of pleasure. The more you tell yourself you can't have a food, the more you're going to want it. As long as you're making positive choices 80 to 90% of the time, don't sweat the occasional indulgence. Also works for other things. Now, I don't think that would work well since I referenced quitting smoking earlier. I think if you pass on a cigarette 80 to 90 times, you're still kind of missing the point. So don't quote me that that's the only way to go. But again, that's what this article says. Number 8, you don't track your progress. Keeping a written record of your training progress will help you sustain an I can do this attitude. All you need is a notebook and a pen. For every workout record that you, for every workout, record what exercise you do, the number of repetitions performed, and how much weight you have used if applicable. Your goal, do better next time. Improving your best performance on a regular basis offers positive feedback that will encourage you and keep you going. I have a spreadsheet at my computer that I use to track times of my runs, how many miles I've done. I do believe that you need to track the things that you do. So I got a mess. Okay. I have to check my phone. If this thing goes off the air, someone's got to text me and say, dude, you're off. Okay. So number 9, I've lost all the viewers. People don't want to watch tonight. I get it. Hopefully we're still on. Number 9, you have no social support. This is another big one. It can be hard to stay motivated when you feel alone. The good news, you're not alone. Far from it, actually. That's the truth. Post a status on Facebook asking your friends if anybody would like to be your gym or accountability buddy. If you know a coworker who shares your goal, try to coordinate your lunch with them, go together so that you'll be more likely to make positive decisions. Join a support group of like-minded folks on Facebook, LinkedIn, or elsewhere on the internet. Strength in numbers is powerful, so use it to your advantage. This is absolutely true. I'm a big fan of the whole social support. Now, for our long walks that we're doing for our marathon training, we have group walks, and we've been doing them on most Sundays where we do our long miles together, and it's really been beneficial kind of having other people sharing the pain with you. Like, I really think it has been most helpful in just making sure that I get out. I'm accountable to do my long walks. But I don't have that during the week. You have to get yourself out. But I know a friend of mine who lives down in Eudora, Kansas. She goes to a gym, and I see her posting on that gym's Facebook page, and they're all, talking to each other and keeping each other motivated and things like that. And then, you can find all sorts of different social avenues. There's running clubs, if running is your thing. There's, if you're into, what's it called, CrossFit. I know those people are rabid about helping each other out. Wow, we officially have no viewers now. Everyone logged off. I must really be difficult to listen to tonight. I understand. I have to listen to me all the time. Okay, well, let's do the last one since we're alone now. It's just you and me. We finally got rid of all those other people. All those looky-loos who are in the chat room. Be gone with you. All right, but no. Number 10, this is the last one. You know your what, but not your why. Sorry, your brain does not process that sentence correctly when you're reading it. You know your what, but not your why. The biggest reason why most New Year's resolutions, or again, I maintain resolutions overall, the biggest reason they fail is you know what you want, but not why you want it. So I know what I want. I know I want to lose a ton of weight, but why? Why do I want to do this? So yes, you want to get fit, lose weight, or be healthy, but why is your goal important to you? For example, do you want to be fit so you can be a positive example to your children and that someone they can admire and look up to? That's an excellent goal for wanting to lose weight. Do you want to lose fat so you'll feel more confident and sexy in your body? You feel better than you have in a long time? Could be another reason. Do you want to be healthy so that you'll have increased clarity, energy, and focus that would carry over into every single aspect of your life? And we all know, or at least we're told, I guess it's actually true, if you exercise, you get energy during the day, it gets your body kind of moving and going. And it's not a bad thing. And so whether you're getting in shape because you want to live longer, be a good example, boost your energy, feel confident, have an excuse to buy hot new clothes, or increase your likelihood of getting, I can't say that. This is a family show. I see what this article tried to do there. Whatever your reason is, totally up to you. And forget about any preconceived notions that others might have. And that's the overall point. We all come up with these silly New Year's resolutions, or these sillies, I'm going to do this. We go about doing it completely wrong. We completely wash out on it. And then we're just back to square one. We get it in our head that it is feast or famine. It is all or nothing. I'm going to drop these 60 pounds, or I'm going to order me a big old pizza. Well, it's way easier to just, dial Pizza Hut's number than it is to drop 60 pounds. And that's where I think a lot of us are at. It's either one or the other. And we just have to remember it is an entire process, no matter what you're trying to do, health-wise, relationship-wise, because quitting can definitely spill over into relationships. You can quit because you went from first date and you want to be here, but maybe you're somewhere in this middle section and someone just decides to bail out. If you're living the post-divorce life, or if you're kind of, in the late 20s, all the 30s, early 40s area, and you're still single, trust me, I know what your dating life looks like. I know where you've been, and I know how full-blown terrible it can actually be. And so we have unreasonable expectations, and we might know that we want to get in a relationship, but we don't know where we ultimately want it to go. And so that's another big problem that we have. And again, that's something completely different from weight loss. Many years ago, I made the New Year's resolution that that was going to be the year that I met the one of my dreams, and I was not going to be single anymore. And I was going to at least try and be engaged by the end of the year. Yeah, how well do you think that worked out? Yeah, no, no, that didn't happen. I should go back and see what year that was, and then laugh at myself. Because if you can't laugh at yourself, call me and I'll laugh at you. So anyway, that's where we're at. So that is our episode on quitting tonight. I'm sorry you had to listen to Kermit the Frog all evening. Hopefully by next Tuesday I'll be better. But here's the really good news. Next Tuesday, Joe comes on for the first time in 2020, so I don't have to talk much. I'll just say, hey, Joe, go. And he'll talk to you guys all night. It'll be great. So thank you very much for another episode. Last week's episode really got a ton of views. So for all of you who watched live now, or who watch after the fact, or who share the show, you guys are the real MVPs. Thank you so very much. And again, like, comment, and share. It's the only way we grow. And that's what I'm going to ask you guys to be doing all season long, because it is so super important. If you want this show to actually go anywhere in life, if you think other people need to hear it, then it's on you. Like, comment, share. Find us on Instagram, find us on Twitter, find us on YouTube, find us on iTunes and Spotify and iHeartRadio, and wherever you get your podcast. We are there under Hitting the Wall. You'll see the logo. It's a little W with the arms and legs sticking out from a guy who hit the wall. I think it's a cute logo, personally. And that's going to do it. So, hey, everyone have yourselves a great week. Go Chiefs on Sunday. If you're a Tennessee Titans fan, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about a lot of choices that you've made in life, mainly your desire to like the Tennessee Titans. But they're going down. Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. It is our year. So go Chiefs. Anyway, everyone stay safe. Don't text and drive. We'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Did you know that you could talk to Kyle when he records his shows? Tune in to the live recordings of Hitting the Wall on Facebook Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Central Time and say hi.